volleyball really hasn't ever been as exciting, with everything going slightly to plan, people really coming out of their shells, doing better, all that practice paying off. But are we going to be seeing it get used in a match? The time is coming where they actually have to put it all to the test, where they actually have to show their mettle. But as we saw, no one's eager to just sit still, let nothing happen. So let's just see how strained some of their friendships may become. Or as we were seeing, get a lot closer. Oh yes, I'd almost forgotten that he was going through a little phase. If you're going to be like that, we'll find something else we can do. As a way to kind of power through, ignore him when he's having a little temper tantrum. Might be one way to do it. Rather than try to placate them. Nah, I'm not having any of your shit, mate. But it's fun to see the various ways that people can actually try to deal with something. The excess stress and everything of not being good enough, not being able to score a point. There are those that withdraw into themselves, those that blame others, those that get angry, and those that have a little emo moment. But I think, as it goes, Haikyuu it's just a show that no matter how you do deal with it, as long as you can learn and grow, there was never a wrong answer. Wait. He's completely stunned. He's just a hollow shell of his once former self. Well, most of them. Finally going to do something again. Just a dump. You see, even without their ace, they're still a formidable force in of themselves. So because of that, they can just work around him. Damn it, they're not. After all of the effort they put in, they're still falling behind. Nice. So as long as he can stand up against him, then he can do that for anyone. Well then, I see, you know what you have to do. Which would be the perfect time. if he... Yep. Whoa. I mean, one way to pick someone right back out of a slump, yeah, definitely, but... He hit it with such force, the ball deformed that much. I'm not sure how much air pressure is actually in a volleyball, but still. The unsaid bond, they all know what to do now. Nothing's gonna keep him down for long. Hey, hey, hey. So simple. They seem to be able to work with him quite well. Well, that's the thing though. Do you really want to bet your entire gamble on being able to overcome a single player? Yeah, I mean, if they're still in the phase where they can figure out where they went wrong rather than blaming it on just bad luck or something. They know quite well what it feels to lose recently. Yeah, if they can master these things that they are trying, not even master, if they can just pull them out as if it was second nature. Okay, where are you going with this analogy? I see. The strongest. Well, it depends on how you mix colours, because it can also be brown. Well, pumped up as ever. No one wants to be left out. I'm glad. For where he was before all of this, where he was resigning himself to the sidelines to let the up and coming stars reach their potential. And if you're not able to, he won't forgive you, so get to practicing. Why did that send him into a cold sweat? Ah. Negative goatee. We'll shave it off then. I think it worked. Meat. Meat! Well, if you're actually getting that affected by onions, you need a sharper knife. Huh? And we're getting to know the entire menu there of what's on the grill. It's a good attitude to take. Let's try again once we've eaten. Are they actually going to be able to wait until it's cooked? That sounds like a challenge. One that I would rapidly accept. Ah, good save. You bastard. I like this. Have we had this level of intensity? Never. But they have something they really need to protect. Oh, fuck me. Don't slow down now. They'll force feed them if they don't start. Well, I was going to think more like a grandmother, but yeah. She's not good with open spaces, new people, crowds. Then go and get some. I don't think they're that hungry. That can be misconstrued, but do you even know what you just picked up? They're not quite as terrifying as the initial. Not as terrifying as it might look. Oh, I wondered what was emanating from him. They've reached a higher level of personal enlightenment. Everyone has their ups and downs, pros and cons. Stop telling him about people that are better than me. Seen him before. And I'm guessing sooner or later we will get acquainted with almost all of them. Yeah, we're not that close yet. after they've got their sights set, haven't they? Well, of course, if Kenma says it, then that's the be-all, end-all of where it is. They had moments of inspiration for them all where they're actually reaching forwards for themselves, but getting them all out here, working together, unlocking new pathways for them. Actually seeing like a flash of inspiration, seeing the potential in them all. Some more than others, maybe. I mean, we've had stories where people at the top getting bored, there's no one that can match them. So seeing someone eager for the fight, eager for the chance to grow. You gotta love these transitions, even if we've seen them hundreds of times. Which means only two that they have to not fail at. They were seeded. Everyone's so fired up. But she's hardly had any... Both of them? Hardly had time to get to know them all. It can't be over just yet. Don't hit it to the liberal. Damn. Was it? But what if it was anyone else but him? Okay. There's that guy. Who? Did I not? Is he coming back home? I mean, just kind of... I see their relationship is a little frosty. Do you suck? We never stopped liking volleyball. It's because it's fun. So he has to just do better than He ever has. The same kind of conversation he's had before, perchance. Yeah, when you got people who actually are genuinely invested in the game, have that thing that... A slight upturn of the lips, was that? Hard to believe from him. And they wouldn't take no for an answer or wouldn't go home. But there isn't anything simple that they're trying. They all get on so well. Like what? What do we... I was questioning why we were going back to Haikyuu. You have some confidence, a good outlook there. Did he actually leave such a lasting presence? Where he's actually thinking about him? The spring tournament is going to be one thing I do not want to miss. And with it being the last hurrah for the third years, are we going to see them put out all the stops? What happens at the end of it? How will they pull themselves up and carry on as a team when they have to replace the irreplaceable? Who's going to be team captain? Or what kind of new talent will be coming with the next year? But as we are slowly encroaching on it, seeing more and more of the other teams, the opposition, the cast and ensemble, that we are slowly getting to know each and every one of them. Rather than just being, here's a team and here's some names. They each have their personality, their backstories, their own troubles. Do you think that eating several metric tons of meat is enough to power them all for the rest of the day? But from what we saw, the many matches that they lost, all those sets where they weren't even close, and some which, they got some points back. It started to click, and just how it shows how useful these occasions are. Without the practice, without the effort you're putting into it, you can only really draw out a tiny bit of your potential. Something that I know all too well. As someone that never really strove higher, Well, we'll leave it at that, shall we? Everyone fights for their own reasons, whether it be the fun of the game or getting the feel of hitting a spike, lording it over you, over your opponents, getting the cheers from the crowd. As long as you're having fun with the game, that's kind of the point. But yeah, we weren't getting more than 10 minutes before being reminded that this is their last year. Each time, this is the final hurrah. A time for them to show themselves, show what they can do before moving on to pastures anew. It would be a shock to me if they actually get all the way through in the spring tournament. But it's at least as long as they can make another name for themselves, makes the ripples in the water turn into some waves, then everything that we've seen so far has been put to good use. But Haikyuu is always going to be a show where I get tired just watching it. Seeing so much energy being expended with my relatively sedentary lifestyle is going to be a drain on anyone. But seeing a show where we have the underdogs and everything that they're doing kind of paying off, of course, we're always going to root for them because that's the whole basis of it. Why would we follow along this long if we didn't care? But even getting to see the moments of failures and make it gratifying for us, the viewers, because it shows their struggles, their emotions, everything that goes along with it, in a very human way. It's almost as if this was written by people who thought the characters acted like people. Slightly, greatly exaggerated people, but people. I just hope that at the end of all of this, Yachi actually managed to get some food. The one that wasn't cooked 4 times over. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. The highs of this show, when it all works, are splendid. When it doesn't, that's good too. And everywhere in between, when we get the level of energy and power, there's really not much to complain about. The art stylings, the movement, the fluidity, some of the faces. I'm in it for the long haul. Hopefully you will be too. If you've enjoyed, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to not miss out. But all in all, get yourselves a bit of rest. See you in the next one. If you want to be the large crowd at the group barbecue to make me feel anxious, consider joining onto my Patreon and helping out the channel. There's not really a lot of meat to go around, but we can subsidise it with an extreme amount of anime. So, to Electric Ant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Shiwan, Mats, Girly, Cardboard, Croyville, Ginterman, Dark Shadow 7899, Megu42 and everyone else, I really do thank you. Just be sure to leave a little for me. I don't really want to go hungry.